Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm with the Chicago Commission on Human Relations, and this is another episode of the Think Before You Hate podcast. What we do is we have discussions and conversations about positive change in our city, and the Chicago Commission on Human Relations is the city's civil rights agency. What we do is we fight discrimination and prejudice by enforcing the Chicago Human Rights Ordinance and the Chicago Fair Housing Ordinance. And today we have the great pleasure of speaking with Sara Mathers, who is the Chief of Community Engagement for the Office of the Mayor of Chicago. Sara, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today. Will you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Where'd you grow up?
Well, actually, I grew up in the middle of a cornfield. I'm in a small college town in west central Illinois. So I'm a Macomb homie, but I've been here for over 20 years. So I came up here in 2004.
2004, great. Well, that's certainly longer than I've been here. I've been here since 2022.
Oh, good. Oh, hey, newbie.
Yeah. I always wonder, to what time am I no longer a newbie? I don't know. I know as I
you're
love
still a
being
newbie
here.
now.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I've loved every minute being here and living in Chicago. And so could you please tell our audience what being the Chief of Community Engagement for the Mayor's office entails?
Absolutely. Well, it's a large job, right? There are 2.7 million people in this city, and I feel very responsible for figuring out the ways that I could best engage with all kinds of different people. We can get information out to them. We can receive information to them. And it's always a challenge because of the way people give and receive information, right? And also historic trust in the city and government in general tends to be low. So trying to overcome those barriers and provide avenues for people to get as much information as they can about city issues, about city programs, resources that they have, and about how this administration wants to protect and to take care of Chicagoans.
Right. Yeah. Now, can you tell us about the engagement councils and, what are they? How many exist and what do they do?
Sure. We have a number of engagement councils. Most of these councils are based around ethnic identity. So we have, and they're pretty autonomous, or not necessarily autonomous, but they are each unique to their own character. So we've got an AAPI. So that's our Asian American Pacific Islander Engagement Council. We have a Native American Engagement Council, an African Diaspora. So that encompasses a lot. We've got our Arab American Engagement Council, Polish American. A new one that we just did in the last year or so is the Mexican Engagement Council, because this city has a large Mexican population. Yeah. Absolutely. And they bring so much beauty. All of these different communities bring so much beauty and so much unique experience to each one, to the city. They create the soul of Chicago. So we're super excited to have the opportunity to engage with people around issues that are specific to their community, their identity, things like that. And right now we're in Black History Month, and so we are working with our African American Engagement Council, but that's also in a state of renewal. And so we're bringing in new members, thinking through sort of what we want to get from our engagement councils and what we want to give to our engagement councils.
How does one get appointed to an engagement council, and how can anyone learn about their activities?
Absolutely. Well, it's actually not an appointment. So that's what makes them different from our advisory councils, which are codified and appointed by the mayor. This is more of are you interested in working with people from diverse backgrounds that have the same identity? Are you interested in hearing more about the city? Are you interested in giving your opinions on the city? And it's not an appointment. It's more of are you willing to show up and do a little bit of work and, show up and participate on things.
Oh, okay. Now, how do the engagement councils function as a tool to promote unity throughout the city? Do they also offer a voice to the community? Can you share an example of the impact that the engagement councils have?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have we have different staff that works with different engagement councils. So, for example, NECA, who is on our Immigrants, Migrants, and Refugee Rights team, she has done a fabulous job with the African diaspora to pull them together. They held a Swahili Day last year. They've done a lot of work with consulates. So they're really instrumental in, and each one has their unique vision and unique ideas. Today, actually, our AAPI Engagement Council is meeting with the mayor to discuss, I think it's nonprofits and ways that some things that they're feeling and hearing so that they get this opportunity to report to him. My coworker, Kevin Barces, who's also the advisor for the Veterans Affairs. He's the director of Veterans Affairs. So he works with the Advisory Council for Veterans Affairs, also holds 2 engagement councils. So he works with the Native American and the Polish American. The Polish American Engagement Council did a really good job of making sure that the Polish corridor, the Polish triangle, was noted. There have been many events that they involved the mayor with, and that he goes to, and able to make sure that they're represented in a certain way. He also works with the Native American Engagement Council, and they were helpful during the DuSable, some new things that are happening in the DuSable Park. And I'm very excited that our newly formed, reconfigured Arab American Engagement Council, which we haven't met as much as we should, and so we're working on that. But they're really interested in getting involved with other boards and commissions, right? So we look at this as a bit of a stepping stone for folks, like a promotion. When they can, they come, we have good conversations. We think about ways that we can support each other, and then after that, that gives them a front door into the city, and so they can be eligible for other activities and other positions.
Yeah, terrific. Aside from the engagement councils, your work also entails organizing community budget engagement forums, including one for the youth. Why is it important to have these community budget forums, and also what is the importance of the role of the youth?
Absolutely. Well, the budget engagement, I'd say, was the primary focus of the previous administrations. Oh, I forgot to also mention that our engagement councils also work on our cultural receptions, so they're helpful with those. So I'd say that this office in the past mainly did cultural receptions and then budget engagement. And budget engagement, it's a large undertaking, right? This is an opportunity to bring residents from all over the city into a room with commissioners, deputy mayors, staff that is holding all of the work, the tons and tons of work that that residents want to see. And so this is an opportunity to sit down, talk in roundtables, bring ideas, bring concerns, bring regrets, bring those things. All different types of conversations, and they're really generative conversations, right? You may not know anything. I've had staff members and coworkers that will go and sit in at a table, and they're talking about, let's say it's an infrastructure table, and they're talking about, lead line replacements, and they hear something from somebody, and maybe they work on cultural, maybe they work at DCASE, right? But they hear something that triggers an opportunity for them to improve the work that they're doing, whether it's about how to notify people, where people get their information from, or how to better serve the community, right? Because that's our job here. Our job is to make things better, is to serve our communities. And so in these conversations, even if it's not your topic area, you're going to learn something new. You're going to hear from people, and it'll excite you to think about better ways to do your job. Oh, and the youth are clearly important. Now, of course, Mayor Brandon Johnson has a really big emphasis on youth. And that's important because, first of all, him being a teacher, he's got 3 beautiful children. But this is the foundation of our society, of our communities, and making sure that they're nurtured, that they're listened to, that they're respected. That pays off in dividends, right? When people have that sort of pride, have that sort of civic awareness, that lasts with them their whole lives. And they have fabulous ideas. Like the youth budget roundtables are some of the best ones. First of all, there's a DJ and there's food. So that's always fun. But it's also like young people have so many ideas. They're not cynical about a lot of things that maybe some of us adults are. So they bring a lot of really interesting ideas to the table. They point out things that we don't think about. The same when I work with seniors, right? They're pointing out things that we're not thinking about. So it's important to have those unique perspectives. It's important to get them involved early. And it's a way to make our city more whole, more rounded, safer. all around. The youth budget roundtable is definitely the most fun one and really generative, just as the adult ones are. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that makes sense. The city could always benefit from hearing fresh new ideas and new perspectives, as you mentioned. Are there any upcoming initiatives or leadership developments within this mayor's office that you're excited about? When it comes to strengthening how the city engages with residents across Chicago?
Yeah, so our Protecting Chicago initiative has been really important too. And when we started doing it, this is in response to the federal impositions that are happening across the country. And this is an opportunity to work with our community organizations, our businesses, our nonprofits, all of those, to figure out the best ways to protect Chicago. And that started pretty specifically dealing with what was coming down from the federal government, but it's broadened. I feel like the umbrella that holds Protecting Chicago includes the budget. It includes executive orders. It includes all sorts of different elements. And so we have really tried to branch that out to make that a large umbrella so that all the things that we do in this government protect Chicago. That's residents that live here. That's visitors. That's family members that live afar, because Chicago is a center of the Midwest, right? And it is a beacon for the LGBTQ plus community. It's a beacon for immigrant communities. It's a beacon for Black families who, came here during the Great Migration. Chicago is the greatest freaking city in the world. Mayor Brandon Johnson always says, and it is true, right? We are in the middle of all of this, and we've got to stand up and be an example for others. So Protecting Chicago, we're also going to be participating in America 250 and Illinois 250, because this is the birthday of America this year in 2026, 250 years. And that gives us an opportunity. I think there are some people that feel some kind of way when they hear about celebrating America. And because of the history, because often this country has not lived up to the ideals that we were taught and based on. But here in Chicago, we do that. We're resilient, we're strong, we move forward. And so we're not just going to look at the past 250 years, we're going to look towards the future. And we want to center those voices that make up this beautiful country and make up the values that we talk about and have been ignored a lot in the past. And I think our engagement councils will have a really big hand in that as well.
And that's what makes us the best freaking city in the world.
That's right. The mayor ain't wrong on that one.
Were there any other announcements on leadership positions that you wanted to mention?
So we do have boards and commissions that are available. I'm really, really excited. I had been working with the LGBTQ plus advisory council for a while, but we just hired a fabulous gentleman named Antonio King. Yes. He's awesome. We're so lucky to have him. Yeah, he's going to be our director of LGBTQ plus affairs. And we had that advisory council that I've been working with, now he will be chairing it. But we just had 4 openings come up. So we've got new people that are coming into that. Our advisory councils often have rolling opportunities for folks. We do have openings on our engagement councils. You should all check out our Moki website. Another thing I'm really proud of with being in this position is in the past, our community engagement didn't have a microsite or a website. And we do have one now because we want to be able to be very transparent and open, see who we are, get to know us. And there's a little spot on there for engagement councils. So I'll make sure that we have something where people can contact us or see if they want to be involved in it. Because, we have room for 20 to 24 people on these councils. I'd say about a dozen generally lean in at any time. So there's room for everyone here.
What might that website be?
Moki, Mayor's Office of Community Engagement, chicago.gov. I think it's
backslash.
Yeah, not a backsplash. Not a home improvement channel. / Moki, MOCE, Mayor's Office of Community Engagement.
All right, I'll be sure to check that out, and I hope our listeners do so as well.
Oh, check out our Instagram. and our LinkedIn also. Those are not my areas of expertise, but my fabulous coworker Leslie does a fabulous job on that.
Perfect. I'll be sure to check those out as well. Now, as we're wrapping up this conversation, I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all of our guests. In your opinion, what can our listeners do in their everyday lives to combat hate and discrimination?
Wow. I'd say get to know each other, talk to people. You don't have to get to the nitty gritty all the time. Just talk to somebody about their grandbabies or their hobbies or their plants in their yard. Find things. You know, I have this problem. I love people. So I can always find something to connect with people about. I know it's just, it's not a problem, but it is, you know, I find so much value in all people. And so
That's what led you to the position you're in right now?
it absolutely is. It absolutely is. No, it's not a problem. It's just tiring sometimes. Maybe that's the job. But knowing people and getting to know, you know, I'm a former community organizer, and there are a couple of things, you know, it's like look for the self-interest, look for people's self-interest and find where your self-interest lies. Doesn't always have to be the biggest issues, right? I enjoy making sourdough bread. I do not, but somebody else does, right? Look for the things that folks can connect over.
Yeah, first of all, I was hoping you say yes because I do like cooking myself. So.
I like to cook, but I don't
okay.
bake.
It's funny you say that because I'm big into sweets, so I should be into baking, but no, I'm more into cooking. But Sara, thank you very much for joining us today. I've enjoyed listening to everything you do and learning more about the engagement councils, and I hope our listeners have enjoyed listening to us as well. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Think Before You Hate podcast. Remember, if you or anybody you know feels that they've been a victim of discrimination here in the city of Chicago, please do not hesitate to contact us at 312-744-4111. Again, that is 312-744-4111. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, or formerly Twitter, and most recently Blue Sky. And remember, until next time, think before you hate.